Ever start taking creatine, get your next routine blood test back a few weeks later, and see your creatinine number tick up, and panic sets in? I've damaged my kidneys. Here's the thing. I hear this all the time, and in most cases, they're actually fine. The lab results sounded a lot scarier than it really was, but there are a few people who really do need to take care. Are you one of them? That's what we're going to find out today. This is not another video telling you that everyone should be taking creatine. You've probably seen plenty of those already. Today we're going to find out who is likely to benefit, who should talk to their doctor first, and who needs to be more careful before taking it. No fluff, no fear-mongering, just exactly what the research shows. More than 13,500 people have now participated in creatine clinical trials. And researchers have also gone back through nearly 50 years of adverse event reports from the US, Canada, Australia, and across Europe. And there's next to nothing concerning in any of it. This is the conclusion of a peer-reviewed paper published in 2025 in Frontiers in Nutrition. And that's exactly why it's worth taking the people who do need to be careful seriously, not dismissing them, but being precise about who they really are. For years, creatine had the wrong reputation. Not something people in their 50s, 60s, or 70s thought applied to them, but instead, the supplement 19-year-olds tossed in a shaker bottle before leg day. But that's exactly the group losing muscle every year and getting the least benefit, because it sounded like a bodybuilding thing, not a healthy aging thing. That is completely backwards. Creatine has joined protein, vitamin D, and resistance training in the healthy aging conversation. Same molecule, totally different conversation. Quick baseline before we go into specifics. Creatine monohydrate is the most researched form, and it's safe for most healthy adults at doses of 3 to 5 grams daily. No loading phase needed. That number comes from more than 30 years of dosing research, not a guess. But safe for most people does not mean safe for every single person. And that is exactly where this video lives. First, let's get the biggest myth out of the way, because it's probably the one you've heard the most. Does creatine cause cancer? This is where that fear really comes in. When meat gets charred at high heat, the creatine in it reacts with sugars to form compounds linked to cancer in animal studies, at doses way higher than anyone's taking from a supplement. That reaction happens over a hot grill, not in a glass of water with a scoop of powder stirred in. But scientists haven't seen more cancer in real people taking creatine. Some data even skews a bit lower. For men worried about prostate cancer specifically, yes, some lab studies show tumor cells being more active in the energy pathway of creatine. But a cell using a molecule for fuel is not the same as that molecule causing the cancer to grow. Creatine has not been demonstrated to increase PSA, speed progression, or increase recurrence in actual patients. Here's where it gets tricky. If you have an aggressive or metastatic cancer and you're currently in treatment, this isn't a decision to make on your own. That's a conversation to have with your oncologist. Period. Next up is the one I hear more than any other after 50. Does creatine wreck your kidneys? Here's the truth of the matter. Creatine decays into creatinine, and creatinine is the number most doctors use as a quick proxy for kidney function. So when someone begins taking creatine, that number can bump up a little. That's chemistry, not pathology. Study after study, even trials lasting months to years, find no kidney damage in healthy people. When researchers use tests that don't rely on creatinine, like cystatin C or direct GFR. The same pattern shows up in older adults and in people with type 2 diabetes. There are also smaller studies in people living with one kidney that haven't shown clear evidence of harm, but that's still something to talk over with your doctor. There's one case where that's different. If you already have a diagnosis of kidney disease, you can't test yourself for this. Your doctor has to be involved from day one. The right monitoring, not just creatinine. So here's the full list. No games. Anyone already diagnosed with kidney disease. Anyone currently being treated for aggressive cancer. And anyone managing a serious, uncontrolled medical condition. That's it. 3 groups. And for all 3, talk to your doctor first is not optional. That's the whole plan. Now, 2 more things to know. because they change how this plays out day to day for almost everybody else. First, creatine dehydrates you and makes you cramp? The logic seemed reasonable at first. Creatine pulls water into muscle cells. People figured it must be pulling water from everywhere else. Turns out, that's the wrong way around. Creatine actually increases total body water, not just water in your muscles. Research on people exercising in heat on creatine shows no increase in dehydration, cramping, or heat illness. If anything, several studies show fewer. That said, if you've personally stopped it, tried again, and the cramps came back every time, trust that over the study. Studies tell you what is common. Your body tells you what is true for you. Second, the one mistake I see people over 50 make more than any other is thinking, if creatine is safe, then more must be better. The only real side effect is stomach-related: bloating, loose stools, and mild discomfort. It's almost always dose-related. It happens when someone takes a huge single dose, like 15 or 20 grams at once, and that extra creatine just sits in the gut, pulling in water. Doubling your scoop doesn't build extra muscle just to be safe. It just gets you a rough afternoon. The fix? Stick to 3 to 5 grams. Space it out through the day if you've got a sensitive stomach. And go with a third-party tested brand, with nothing added but creatine monohydrate. So why does this actually matter? After 50, you lose about 1 to 2% of your muscle mass a year, and that loss accelerates after 60. That number seems abstract until you put it in perspective. Carrying your own groceries in 10 years, or not? Not falling, or catching yourself before you do. Muscle loss is one of the strongest predictors of frailty and loss of your independence. Period. Creatine is one of the few nutrition tools with real evidence behind it for preserving that muscle when combined with resistance training. And some research suggests modest benefits for bone density as well. There's some early evidence for cognitive support too, but that's still developing, and I don't want to oversell it. It was never really about bigger muscles. It's about still being the guy who can get down on the floor and get up by himself. One quick ad before we wrap up. If you're already on medications that can affect kidney function, say daily NSAIDs for chronic pain, you should let your doctor know before adding creatine, even if you're not in one of the 3 groups above. And if you've never actually been tested for kidney function, that's good to know in itself, creatine or not. If you decide this is right for you, 3 to 5 grams per day, no loading phase, stay hydrated, and use a third-party tested creatine monohydrate. Don't chase a bigger dose thinking it'll work faster. It will not. More is not necessarily better. If you're already taking creatine past 50, tell me what changed first. Getting up from a chair more easily, feeling steadier on the stairs, or simply having more energy on your daily walk? And if you decided not to take it, tell me why. Your experience might help someone else making the same decision. And if this video saved you an hour of digging through supplement forums, I'd really appreciate a like. It helps this video reach more people who could benefit from it. At the end of the day, this was never about talking you into creatine or scaring you away from it. It was about giving you the information you need to make the decision that's right for you. If you have a question, or if you want to share your own experience with creatine, leave it in the comments. I genuinely read through them, and I'd love to hear what you've experienced. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.